Hello, good evening. My name is Kayla Joshua, and I am the owner and operator of Knowledge Solutions. And what I do is teach business owners how to make 100K in 90 days using my power program. And I'm coming live to you guys tonight, live in full effect, to talk about how to obtain funding for your business, especially new businesses, new entrepreneurs. I know it's hard, especially when you're starting off. I was in that boat as well. I knew absolutely nothing about business credit. And so, with that being said, I wanted to be able to enlighten you guys tonight on some ways to get funding. So, what would your life look like, I should say, if you no longer had a reason to be able to fund your business if you had a brand new business idea? So, what exactly would that look like? What would that entail? You know, what I was saying, in the beginning is I had no clue about business credit. I knew about personal credit, been doing personal credit for a long time. I had no clue about business credit or how to obtain business credit. I didn't even know you had to have a business structure. The only thing I had was a DBA, which is doing business as in Nevada, and an EIN number, which is free. And unfortunately, some people, hey, John, okay, I got you on your business credit. I'm just waiting on you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Some people have no clue. Like, even on social media is just crazy. Okay, let's start there. People be charging people for an EIN number. Like, that's free. It's crazy. I don't know how, why, but it is what it is. But that's why I, try to go live every single week with a different topic in my group. So that way, new entrepreneurs and new business owners know how to do what they need to do in order to gain these funds. Right. Yes. I appreciate you. Yeah, like Ms. Mitchell said, $100 to get an EIN number. Like, an EIN number is free, you know. Now back to my personal story. Many of us, especially coming from the African American community, I can't speak for anybody else. We're taught like not to borrow money from anybody, use your own funds. But you have to, it takes money to make money. So sometimes you have to step out on faith and go out and get business loans to build business credit. Um, a lot of times people think, oh, business credit is the new CPN. No, it's not. You have to have at least a good, I would say at least a 640 credit score for your personal credit when you're first starting off in order to start applying for a lot of business credit. You can apply using your EIN number solely or your Dun and Bradstreet number. But a lot of companies, honestly speaking, want a PG, which is a personal guarantor. If your own personal credit isn't up to par and you don't have at least a 640 score, you can still get business lines of credit, but they won't be very high. So, just really don't listen to all of the rigmarole on TikTok, Facebook, etc. Like, oh, you can get business credit, you don't get huge lines of business credit, blah, blah, blah. Your personal credit can suck. No, that's not the case. It's possible to get business credit, but if you actually want real huge lines of business credit, your business has to be structured properly. You have to have at least an LLC, not just be a sole proprietor with an EIN number. We need lives like this, real information from real life people. Yes, exactly. They just don't know where to start or where to get the information from. Exactly. Knowledge is power. People are scared to ask questions because they don't want to look inferior. They don't want to look like they don't understand. I ask questions all the time, and I have multiple degrees, and I will ask you a question in a minute. Like, I don't care how you may perceive it or how you may think it looks, you look dumb. Like, don't do that. Always ask questions because, hold on, let me make sure this is streaming to my Facebook group. Always ask questions because if you don't, you're going to wind up in a situation and you're trying to figure out why, you know? And it is not streaming to my Facebook group. Let me see. Let me go get it from my business page. And then I have to stream it to my Facebook group. Ever since StreamYard changed its policy where you can't stream directly from StreamYard to your Facebook group, is just so complicated. And why, I have no clue, but it's irky and it gets on my nerves. So don't mind me. Let me just post this right quick to my Facebook group that is supposed to be in the first place. But whatever. But yeah, even now, currently, I'm in the process of starting a new business that I've never done before. Starting a dealership, and I have absolutely no knowledge, no clue on it, but I had to step out on faith and say, this is what I need to do, and this is how I get to where I need to be. And in order for me to start that business, I had to get funding. I didn't want to use my personal credit, because when you use your personal credit and when you try to get things like a house or a car, it affects your debt to income ratio. So anytime your debt to income ratio is over 30 or 40%, they're going to deny you for a lot of different loans. And that's exactly what you don't want to happen. You're going to be denied for a lot of different things because you have to use your personal credit. So that's why the main thing today was, let's find out how to get funds for business credit. So first and foremost, like I said, structure your business correctly. LLC, partnership, if you have somebody you're going in business with, and it's different type of corporations, regular corporations, S corp, B corp, nonprofit organizations that are actually considered a corporation, etc. Thanks to you, my business score is at B. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Ms. Mitchell. Absolutely. Um, so first, figure out what type of business structure will best suit you and your business or your business partners, because you need an actual business structure in order to apply for things. So the LLC, the EIN, and the business bank account. Once again, the LLC, the EIN, and the business bank account, you don't want to commingle funds, meaning you don't want to be using your business account for personal, your personal account for business. Because when you go to apply for a loan, they're going to say, we don't know which one is which. Or if somebody sued you, even if you had an LLC separates you from the business. But if you were to go to court and they see that you're commingling funds, you can kiss the fact you have an LLC goodbye, because they don't know what's your personal income. They don't know what your business income is. So if you don't know bookkeeping or don't have an accountant and you have a business, definitely reach out, because that's very pertinent in order to not only get your taxes done, but to apply for lines of credit and apply for business. You have to have that business account. Now, as far as business credit goes, you can start off by opening up what's called net 30 accounts. Now, it's kind of tedious. You can get anywhere from like 150 to $200,000 worth of business credit if you do it correctly. But starting off with net 30 accounts is easy, but you have to do it. You got to go through the motions. So accounts like Quill and getting like office supplies accounts, etc., and buying the items and paying the item off within 30 days, or before the payment is due. A lot of stuff, or a lot of these net 30s may not even apply to your business. I think I got like 50 bottles of Dove soap, okay, like the soap, that you dispense in your hand. It's something that I could use. I didn't have to buy soap for a long time, but hey, or about, reams of paper or different things for my home or my office. But you have to start off at these different tiers of business credit in order to build this business credit. And you can see your business credit score, like Ms. Mitchell said, you can see that on NAV, which is free. Of course, they're going to try to upsell you or sell you something else, but you have to have your personal credit up to par and then start building your business credit a little bit at a time. It is possible to build huge lines of business credit if you do it right and you do it consistently within 6 months. So you open those net 30 accounts, which are like the vendor accounts, after you purchase whatever you need to, have it for maybe 6 months, and you can close the accounts. You don't use them. Or make sure you get net 30 accounts that don't have an annual fee, if you can, because a lot of them have an annual fee because they know people use it just to start building business credit. Now, options for funding. So you can get grants, which we know, but you would have to do it yourself or find a grant writer. Chat GPT can definitely write the grant for you, especially if you put in the right information for the prompt. Business credit cards. As soon as you open up your business bank account, ask that financial institution for a business credit card. It may not be a huge limit, but at least now you're reporting to some business credit bureaus. Business credit have their own credit bureaus. They have an Experian Business Credit Bureau, Equifax, even a Dun and Bradstreet score, just pertaining to credit. Business credit is completely different from personal credit. Like, for example, with business credit, you can have 50 inquiries on your credit report, on your business credit, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're not looking at that. What they're looking at is the ability to get an account, most likely with the vendor, a gas card, whoever, and pay it directly right back. That's what they're looking for. Unlike personal credit, you have an inquiry on your personal credit. It stays on there for up to 2 years and it affects your credit score. So grants. Next, like I said, business credit cards. So those are the first two things. Micro loans and CDFI. CDFI stands for Community Development Institutions. So you can get these type of loans, and they're specifically geared for brand new business owners. At the end, if you like, I did come up with a PDF of at least 10 companies you can start off with. Just inbox me or contact me at joinkayla.com, and I can send you that information on 10 companies or 10 websites you can go to start applying and looking for your business credit, to start building it up. Crowdfunding is another way to build business credit. A lot of people don't know what crowdfunding is. It's like basically a lot of people saying, okay, we're going to invest in your business and we don't even want anything from you in particular. So it's like the cheapest way to be able to get money for your business. But just if you become successful as a gift, quote unquote, just give us some samples or give us this and give us that. And there's a lot of websites for crowdfunding. So you would, definitely want to check that out too. And then another one I never heard of, me personally, was angel investors. I'm like, what the heck is angel investors? So what that is companies who actually come together and they're like, we want to invest in other businesses. So you just give them your pitch and they basically pick from there. So that's another option. Like I said, brand new to me. I've never heard of it, but it's something that's out there. You could definitely look it up or Google it or whatever. So starting that new business, you want to have that business plan in place. You don't know how to create a business plan, like I say, use Chat GPT, use Google, be specific on what you want your business to do, and they'll create that business plan for you. And then, of course, your business have to look like a legitimate business. I know a lot of us are still in the side hustle phase, but if you're serious about your business, you want it to look real, you want it to be active. So have that website that they can go to when you're applying for business funding. Have that social media where they can go and check you out, because they're going to check you out. They're going to look and see if this is a real legitimate business. Have that real business email address, their real business address, not a P.O. box, but a real address. You don't want to start off at your house using your house address. If you have to, you can, but eventually get a virtual address or have a brick and mortar. Because once they see you have a physical location, you get larger lines of business credit. So you have to take that in consideration as well. Other ways you can fund your business is yourself. They call it what? Pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Okay, my first time hearing that terminology was Martin Luther King. But anyway, like use your personal savings or borrow funds from your 401k to invest in your business. So if you have like any credit cards or tap into your retirement, something that you can pay back, that's a way to get funding for your business. Loans, SBA loans, like the SBA. I know y'all think of the SBA, you think of PPP loans and all kind of whatever kind of scam they have out. Everybody was on the SBA, okay? But the real purpose of the SBA is to get traditional lendings for new business. They have loans for businesses that's not even for business startups. You basically put in your information, you click on lender match, what type of business it is, Is it a nonprofit, a LLC, a partnership, etc.? And what you plan on doing with the funds. Based on the information you put for your business, they match you with lenders who 9 times out of 10 are going to approve you for the loan. I did it just to run it to see what happened. And I think it was about a month ago. And I put in the information. Keep in mind, my business is structured correctly. The LLC, website, business phone number, not a Google number, business, email address, etc. And they offered me 45,000, might as well say $50,000, like $45,500, just like that on the SBA website. Okay. And you have like 5 to 10 years, depending on the lender, to pay this money back. People don't understand how important it is to have that business structure correctly, so you can, hey Naika, so you can get these type of loans for your business. You just can't act like you're a fly by night type of business. What else? Government backed loans. You can become government certified if you fill out the information correctly, like on SAMS.gov. And the government will give you loans just so you can get your business off and running and get government contracts. But you can't get to that level if the business isn't structured correctly. Crowdfunding, we went over that. Companies that do crowdfunding like Kickstart, actually GoFundMe does crowdfunding. A lot of people know of GoFundMe from people begging for funerals and stuff like that, but actually GoFundMe was supposed to be for crowdfunding. So yeah, and the only thing, like I said, with crowdfunding, they're just expecting a gift or something from you for using their services. You don't have to pay them back at super high interest rates, anything of that nature, in the angel investors. Then you can also apply for a line of credit. One of my business clients started working on her business credit maybe about a year ago. Didn't even complete the process fully, just got to where, as long as your NAB is about, I would say 80 or higher, you're going to get business lines of credit. She applied for a business line of credit with the bank account she opened up for her business, $25,000 line of credit. Approved. Next day. Apply for another line of credit. Approved. Next day. Where do you want us to deposit these funds into your account? But you have to, like I said, follow the right steps and do things like that in order for it to get done. And another way you can get funding, if you have a tangible business like a product, so say you do t-shirts or you sell food or whatever, you can finance the tools and things that you need in order to, so you can apply for a loan directly through the finance companies in order to get that, whatever you need to make money for your business. And that's definitely a tax write-off because you can show proof that this was a business loan and I needed that in order to be successful with my business. The first year of any business, according to the IRS, you can write up to the first $5,000 that you spent starting this business. So your business can make $0 and it doesn't look suspicious and it's not a red flag to the IRS, etc., because we all have to start somewhere. But don't get audited and don't have proof that where all this money went. Don't get audited and you don't have that business bank account, or you don't have those receipts, or you don't have verification that this was the money to start up my business. Oh, almost forgot. Another way too to get money is venture capital. So like on Shark Tank, you propose yourself, to the company's business plan. This is what I want to do. This is what I feel my business is worth, et cetera, et cetera. And people who are investors, they have money, they'll invest in your business for a certain percentage. Another way. So we already went over about 9 or 10 options on ways to get funding for your business. But the repeated key word of this is business structure, and not commingling the funds. You have to show that you are a legitimate business and you want to be a legitimate business. Back in 2023, statistics said 5.3 million people started a new business. Now, how many are still in business? I have no clue. But people are starting businesses left and right because it's so easy, to get an LLC. I think due to the pandemic, it was just like an awakening, like, oh my goodness, I can really own a business. Even me with multiple degrees, I did not know it was that simple to start a business. I was so dead set on working for somebody else. It actually scared me to start a business. I'm like, I can get an LLC. The company that I was with, they basically started offering LLCs. I didn't even know what all LLCs consist of, anything like that. John is on here. He'll say he's my second client, I believe, for the LLC. I was my first client because I'm not going to sell something to somebody I don't know about. So I turned my DBA and EIN number, my sole proprietorship, into an LLC. And then, got a DBA under that LLC. But you think it's so scary to do this, especially as a Black person, especially as a woman, because society makes you think that I can't do this, I can't be a business owner. And people are doing it every day. People are teaching their kids how to be business owners by the age of 12 years old. My daughter, she didn't get it from me. She's 13. She already had 3 businesses. They already done failed, but that's okay. At least she had 3 businesses. You had to start somewhere. So don't be afraid, because it's just paperwork. If you don't know how to do the paperwork, hire myself, hire somebody else, or Google how to do the LLC in the city and state that you're in. It's not that difficult. Don't let paperwork get in the way of you getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, or actually being in a position to fund your dream because you're not familiar with it. Then once you get the LLC, don't just sit on it. Start building business credit. Like I promise you, I literally build over $100,000 in business credit just by following the blueprint and the steps on how to be able to build it based off the different tiers. So let me see, Olivia said, I have a nonprofit 501c3. Can I do the same? Yes, you do. I have a nonprofit as well. So Knowledge Solutions LLC is my business. My nonprofit is Knowledge Solutions Foundation. So if you were to go, Olivia, on the SBA website and put, I'm looking for funding, I have a nonprofit, they will match you with people who are most likely eligible to approve you as a nonprofit organization for funding. But like I said, we don't know because we don't ask these questions. So please don't hesitate to ask, or if you're in a group, put questions on the under the comments afterwards, put hashtag replay and ask those questions, because if we don't ask, we will never know. So now, in closing, that the steps, the different organizations, like I said, contact me for the list, the PDF I put together in order for the websites if you want those as well for funding. What is stopping you from getting funding and funding your dream? What is stopping you besides yourself? That's what I want to know, because you can't say no one ever told you. You can't say you don't have the resources or the websites to go to. You can't say, I don't know anyone who offers business credit setup. I robbed you of all of that tonight. All of that. So you can't say any of that. So if you have any other questions, like I said, don't hesitate to contact me and let me know. Or you can, like I said, go to my website or send me an email at info@joint. What's my business email? Shoot, I don't even know. But just contact me on my website. It'll take you to my email address and my phone numbers on there, etc. But yeah, definitely contact me. I don't know what my topic gonna be for next week, but tune in. And if you have any other small business owners, and when I say small, we're not small. We're talking about people who make under 500,000 a year. That's what we call a small. So if you have any other business owners who need information on how to set up their business correctly, how to build business credit, or even get a nonprofit. A lot of people don't know I offer nonprofits as well. Contact me and reach out and let me know, and we'll keep providing this information to the community so we're all abreast of what's going on, so we can catch up to other ethnicities, because we're definitely behind the curve when it comes to pay, when it comes to the knowledge that's out there, everything. So we're going to play catch up and definitely let nobody else get in the way of that. Well, thank you guys for who did join tonight, and you have a good night.